All right, ready to go in 10 seconds. I'm gonna hit it now. All right. Ooh, that's a little dark. I don't know, seems fine. All right, so this stream, oh, ignore this, I was messing around. Pretend nothing happened. If I go to solver, I'm gonna exit something out, and also I went never convert to far. Pretend that nothing happened to the Sentize file. All right, so Ryan, happy Saturday. Good to see you. And let's see, what am I going to start on? Am I going to quickly track this first and show what the solve looks like, or am I going to jump straight into the survey images? I think I'm going to jump straight into the survey images, just to go ahead and get this started. I want to get this stream out of the way. It's something I've been wanting to do for a while. Never sat down and did it. Okay, so, as I rub my eyes, I just came in from a long walk. Just shot this footage and it's so hot outside. Okay, all right. Donk, 2098, hello. How am I? I'm doing pretty good. Just tired, hot, went out to shoot this footage, and rushed back. And not recovering very well. Okay. Oh, by the way, I don't think I've seen you before in the chat, so good to see you. And hopefully you like tracking stuff. So, let's go ahead and jump straight into this. Ryan, this beautiful weekend we're having. It is so nice out. I wanted to do a lot more, but I have to work. I have to work, had to do this. And I can save whatever fun stuff till another weekend. Okay, so, I'm not going to track this. I'm going to do the survey images first. And then I'm going to come over here, track the necessary points, and then we're going to pin it to our survey. So the way that you load in a survey shot into Finalize, Ryan, same here. Oh, you're working too. I hope you guys don't have it too bad. Same Dan here. Same Dan here. Same Dan? Oh, Dan, it's you. It's you on Twitch. All right, you on Twitch. Sorry. All right. So, okay. Let's do this. Let's just start. So, to load in a survey, a set of survey images. Overtime is life. We do it. Sucks. Yeah. Yeah, it's not fun. Not fun when it's sapping your life away. It's all right when you're younger, I guess. Depends on where and when you want your life to occur. So, loading in a survey shot for the third or fourth time. If I come over to shot, we're going to come over to add survey shot. If you were to add shot, it's just going to give you another normal camera where you can load in another sequence, and then you have two cameras in your scene. Very simple. Adding a survey shot, so this is slightly different. Survey images, you might want to rearrange them. They might not be in the order that you want, like in a normal sequence. So what this feature is going to do is it's going to let you make your own IFL file. And if you don't know what an IFL file, it's basically how Finalize caches stuff, I believe. When you make a new Finalize and look in your directory, wherever your image sequence is, you'll see there's an IFL file. That is your sequence cached in Finalize. So what's nice about that is an image frame list, I believe. And if you make your own, which is what add survey shot lets you do, you can rearrange your frames in any order you may need. And you can drag and drop photos from anywhere. Well, I don't think you drag and drop. You got to put them in a folder or anywhere and then go find and select them and put them in. You'll see. So I'm going to go add survey shot. And over here, I have images, set photos. Oh, no. Oh, sorry. We're not going to see the images yet. Don't be fooled. What it wants you to do is, see, it's on save. And you're saving an IFL file. So I'm just going to go to my set photos, wherever my photos are. You can save this wherever you want, honestly. I'm going to go here. I don't know. I'm going to call it ref images. Call it whatever you want. Save. And now that you have that, you are greeted with this, the IFL editor. And this is where I said that you can rearrange stuff. I actually don't know. You might be able to drag and drop stuff in here. I'm not too sure. Haven't tried it. I'm not going to do it now, too. So I'm going to go add. And now you can see that we are in our folder, set photos, and you can select all your images, open. And these images, they could be of all different resolutions, aspect ratios. When Finalize brings them in this way, it's going to basically pick a resolution that fits all the images, and then your images are going to arrange themselves. Dan, I'm excited about how survey works in Finalize. PF track is really cool in that it is. Yeah, I've actually seen that. Check out a quick 30-second video. 30-second video. I'll see that in a moment. I want to get through this as fast as I can. So now that we have these images, if you wanted, you can move them up and down in the list, and that's about all the freedom that you get. So I'm going to hit OK. And here, so you can enter in some camera information for it. I'm just going to swap to my Blackmagic preset. This sometimes will mean nothing to you if you're dealing with images from all different sources. If you have like somebody shot on a Canon, somebody shot on their phone, and you're trying to solve all these things together, this doesn't mean much to you, honestly. So you don't have to worry about it in those cases. So I'm just gonna keep it at Blackmagic because I shot the images on my Blackmagic. So hit OK. And here we are. So now if you look, we have camera 1, camera 2. And I can scrub here and see the images that I shot. So that is how you would load in a survey shot. And now that I've loaded in that, I want to see that 30-second video. Whoop, that audio is coming out the wrong thing. Let me quickly see this, select frames. Actually, this is different from how I remember it. Maybe it was always the same. You know what, maybe I didn't do it. Because I did multiple image inputs. I probably didn't do it, come to think of it. I should be hearing this guy a little bit.
Processing those to get the results that you need. The select frames node is available now in the
select frames node.
That's going to be called the frames that you need.
Akam, hello. I just started. All I did was load in a survey shot, and I'm just checking out this quick clip.
Some indicators show you the best locations to manually select frames.
That's pretty cool. I like that you can select the frames like that. That's pretty cool. That's a really nice handy feature. I would like to see more of that one day. All right, so hello Akam, what's going on here? I'm doing a survey shot. So here's all I did. We loaded in a shot. Here it is. I got a message from work, so let me see what that is really fast. But Akam, I just opened up this shot, did nothing to it, and I loaded up a survey shot here in camera 2, and to do that you would go to shot, add survey shot, and you know, you can watch this back if you have to. Sorry. Okay, let me see what work is saying. Okay, how did you import the files? I don't want to repeat it. Let's see, I'll do it really quickly. Let's do it really quick. So we're gonna get a camera 3 here. Yeah, it's pretty fast, I'll do it quick. So I'm gonna go shot, add survey shot, and once you add survey shot, it's gonna ask you to save an IFL. I've already saved one. I'll make it again, ref stuff, and you make an IFL because you're gonna put your images in there and you can arrange them in any order you want. So now that you've done that, it's gonna ask you with the editor to add your photos. And here's my photos in that same folder, open. And once they are in, you can now select these and move up or down and arrange these in any order that you need, because sometimes when you're dealing with images from all over the place, they're not always gonna be in the same order. And these can be different resolutions, different aspect ratios and everything. Synthesize will account for it in the resolution. So if I hit OK, you're gonna have your camera info, but if you're dealing with images from different sorts of cameras, honestly, don't worry about this. But these are from my Blackmagic, so I can go Blackmagic preset and hit OK. And here is our new survey camera, which I'm gonna delete. Remove object, there we go. So that's what that is. All right, so with that done, did I get another work message? Yes, sorry. One of our masters at Track VFX says hello from Vahag. So, all right, so now I'm just gonna jump in and start tracking the survey shot and solving it, and then we're probably gonna model this in Maya, or we're probably gonna do some really basic modeling in Maya, and then we will come over here and actually within the same synthesize file with these two cameras, we're going to constrain them together. So here's the boring part. I'm just going to start. Let's start with Earth. I'm not going to track an overwhelming amount of detail on this. Actually, let's not track that. That's a weird detail. Not going to track an overwhelming amount of detail. By the way, to keep dropping your point, don't hit C and keep creating new points. With your last point selected, on a new frame, hold Z, and then you'll drop it. And I'm also not going to go with an extreme level of detail. I'm just dragging it, and I'm looking at the thumbnail view up here. Akam, what's the purpose of a survey shot? The purpose of a survey shot is to help you build out your set for use. It helps you build out your set and get very accurate survey data, like measurements, very accurate locators of very important details in your set, so that you can use it to line up every other shot in the sequence. So this is a very common practice and something that should be done anytime that you can. There's the A. Okay, so we got an A. Let's go. Akam, how you move the track point without hitting C? So when I hit C, so here we're going to create a point. So C creates a point. And now if you go ahead, I'm holding Z. So if you hold Z and click around, you're going to redrop your same point. You can see it just re-enabled. And you can drop it and drag it wherever you want. I like the A's. I like that little apex detail. I'm hoping that I'm going to get the shot to a minimum 4 points active on every frame. And then every other point is just going to be light details, so that I'm not doing this all night. Ugh. Oh, I didn't get the A at this part. Oh well, too bad. Let's go and get circles. You know what? Let's start getting the top of these weird shapes. I kind of wanted to stay away from some of the pixely. It's not too bad. So the eye in circles. Okay, let's see. Kazun, Melinda, hello. Don't think I've seen you in the chat before, but I have seen you just join the Discord, so good to talk to you. If you are late, we are doing a survey solve, and a survey solve lets you build out a set and get accurate positions for any important feature that you can then use for other shots, like this one that we're going to do at the end of this. So that's what we're doing. First time. Nice. Yeah, good to see you. Hopefully, hope you like tracking. Dan, iPad's LiDAR is that useful in the real world? You know, that LiDAR, I wish that I can try it, because I want to see how accurate it is. I don't know if I have serious doubts about its accuracy. I would love to try it for a track, Because what I would love for clients to do actually is to just take something as simple as an iPad or the iPhone with the LiDAR, scan an actor's, like a stunt double, like people who aren't like worth the time and money to get a scan of, scan the stunt doubles and some of the actors, scan that with an iPhone. I used to use Face Scan, the Rebus Face Scan, to do stuff like that. Give us cheap scans of some of these people's faces. It would help so much when we're trying to do digi-double replacements and stuff. I would love that. Okay, I'm not going that far with this W. Let's go. Okay, the R in rhythm. Let's get the... Nah, it's an ugly corner. Let's get the top here. Kazan, been a long time fan though. Your video saved my ass more than a few times. Nice. Was it that you just started tracking, or just you needed some additional information? I just really want to get some stuff out there that people aren't teaching, because I've been screwed for years trying to figure this stuff out. Had to figure it all out by luck and just playing with things. So I'm kind of hoping that changes a little bit. There aren't a whole lot of resources for matchmove, and I really hope that some people will step up and make some like expansive, like very, very detailed courses on like stuff like PhD or all these other sites. Give us a course of something that's just so jam-packed and technical that it's actually worth it. All these tutorials people do, they tend to do very easy shots, and you don't come out of it with any like know-how to problem solve. So I don't know, I kind of hope some people will go and do that. I would like to make a course, but I'm not super technical. I am also very dumb. Okay, we're kind of nearing the point where some of the trackers are going to be staying active, I think. So, nice. Dan, PF Track aligns surveyed images. Oh, sorry, the message popped up. PF Track aligns surveyed images kind of automatically. Yeah, it's kind of yeah, it's like PhotoScan, and it's like PhotoScan and what's the other one? What's the other big photogrammetry program? I don't remember. Yeah, if I can get something automated like that, that'd be great. But I don't necessarily need it in Synthesize, but it would be nice. If I was offered photogrammetry in Synthesize, I would jump at it in a heartbeat. I think next weekend I'm going to be doing a photo scan. I'm going to use Agisoft photo scan, and I'm going to take something organic, photo scan it as best as I can, project a texture, and then I'm going to show how to bring the scan into Synthesize with the texture, and then we're going to use that texture detail to help constrain our shot. So I think I'm gonna do that next week. Reality capture, yes. Dan got it. Yeah, that's exactly it. Akam, have you watched the new Rust tutorials? Yes, I have. When they came out, I actually watched them within the exact minute that they were uploaded. Because on my Discord there I have because on the Discord I have other channels. Yeah, when these popped up Russ's videos, I immediately clicked into it. Okay, let's get some detail that is not the inside of the ring, because it looks like we can start knocking this out. Getting it done. How does a mark like this get up here? What even is this? Whatever it is, bless whatever naturally occurring phenomenon placed it there. Akam, do you think the new features would help? Somebody a while ago showed me Hold on, what are those called again? April tags. Somebody showed me April tags in Blender once, and it's really cool. It's a thing that you gotta paint out of your shot though. I just don't see the point. If you put it on a box, I mean, you could just track the box. I don't know. I don't know who's really wanting to use April tags. I'd imagine maybe there's some green screen stages where they're never taking stuff down. They could probably use that. They could probably use those tags in common. Actually, it's funny now that I'm thinking about this. While Ryan, if Ryan is still here, Zoic or whatever has a stage, something called Zeus, and there's Zeus data, and it was. You could look this up on YouTube. It's all on YouTube, but if you look up Zeus or something, Zoic maybe, their camera setup, all this it was all on green screen, and there was a camera that was pointing upwards, and that camera, there was a lot of like QR code kind of April tag looking stuff on the ceiling, and they were all at different depths. So I'd imagine you could probably use April tags and Synthesize for something like that if you had a permanent set and you never took them down. So that way you can orient your CG environments all the time easily. Because those things, they'll position your camera and thing, I believe. Nope, don't log on. Yeah, the April tags, I don't know, for the average shot, I don't think it's that useful. I think it has its uses, just not in the majority of work. I can't believe I see that dot still. I have phenomenal vision. According to me. Is that it? This point might screw me later. I'm gonna pretend that that's it. Okay, let's get this and we'll loop back around. By the way, if you don't want to hold the Z key every time to place down your tracker, you can come up to track, lock Z drop on, and then wherever you click, without holding the button, it's just gonna snap itself around. Is that it? Right there? Yep. Oh, I think it's out of view. The angle is a little bit funny. This tracker might be a little weird. Yeah, okay. So, couple of messages here. Kazan, I am a comper / generalist. Got more into tracking in the beginning of 2020. Worked with Track VFX on a few projects actually. Oh, did you? What projects? If they're by what projects? If they're released, you know, don't say anything that's not released. Yeah. How's your experience tracking, Dan, how's your experience tracking water shots? How to do those? Oh, Dan, I got a cool shot to show you. Track VFX live. I've tracked a lot of water shots. I've tracked many different types of water shots, but thinking of water off the top of my head, I did do something somewhat crazy. This. My lord, my arms are pasty. I look like sour cream. I like how I look at half the thumbnails, see my face, and think I look like a troll. Like one of those under the bridge trolls. Anyway, here's some kind of water, but I have tracked water, like open ocean, if that's what you're talking about. I've tracked underwater shots. where the camera's looking up and the rocks diving through, and there was rippling waves and god rays. I have tracked a lot of different types of water shots. They are very annoying. Dan, wow, that's really cool. Thank you. I'm actually really happy with how that bathtub turned out. I had to learn how to do that water thing in like the span of a couple hours when we got a shot where there was a pool and there was a little character walking on the side of a pool and they needed reflections. So, yeah, had to pull that one out of my, oh, I didn't time that very well. I said ass. I didn't time my bleep. A calm. I got oh, I'm gonna read these fast just so I can keep tracking. A calm. I got 6K Pro a couple of weeks ago. That's amazing. I'm actually thinking about buying it right away here soon. Either that. I've really been trying to fight the urge to buy the Canon R5, very expensive camera, and it has IBIS. And you can't really turn off IBIS unless you do a weird little hack with some lenses and the switch. IBIS will screw over my tracking. But I want it for like wedding shoots and stuff and just general photography, but yeah, it's so expensive. I don't think I could justify it, so I'm probably going with the Blackmagic. Kaizen, yes. Kaizen, no. I don't remember what those are for. Dan, wow, that's really cool. Kaizen, LOL. Alright, I got through those messages at lightning speed. Dan, is there any better than 4K? 6K. That was a dumb answer, I'm sorry. Okay, let's go and knock out some easy points, get some pebbles. We're kind of we're kind of close to getting a solve on this. I think this is it right here. Did I actually find that? I'm gonna get rid of that last frame just in case. That one's a little bit sketchy. Okay, so let's track some easy stuff. I'm gonna get the sign. Ooh. Carter. The, Captain Crunch, not Captain Crunch, Cinnamon Toast, Captain Crunch Carter. Captain Carter. Cinnamon Toast Carter. Sorry. I, butchered that royally. I'm so sorry about that. The open ocean stuff has always mystified me. Like, every single point is moving and all visible details and specular reflections anyway. Don't even know where you start. I'll shoot a shot like that. I'll make that a stream. I have a lot of footage of open water. I'll do that one sometime. Walnut, hey, what did I miss? And also Maxo Bad Axo. That is an amazing name. I actually really like that. Walnut, what did I miss? So this, we're doing the survey. So all you missed is that I've imported the survey shot, and you'll have to go back and watch it because I actually did it twice. But yeah, so we imported the survey shot and we started tracking points. I'm almost done. And the actual shot that we're going to use with the final geo out of Maya is this here. So yeah, we're nearly done with this. I'm not gonna go like crazy into mountains of detail with it. Let's track this cup. I love litter. Litter saves my ass so many times in matchmove that I almost makes me want to throw out more garbage. Wait, did that cup just disappear? Where is that cup? Was it over there? Okay, yes. I was gonna say, there's no way somebody picked up that cup without me noticing. A calm. Thinking about buying it. How much you have built it? Adding battery kind of stuff. I have 12 batteries for mine. My Canon, I have a Canon EOS R, and it uses the same type of batteries as my Blackmagic, and I use them interchangeably. But the Blackmagic, oh my god, it eats up battery so much. A friend of mine who's a photographer bought a Blackmagic, and he has some really big batteries. Let's get some corners. This is kind of a round beveled corner, so these points I'm putting aren't like the most accurate. I'm going to drop this one a couple pixels below the edge just to pretend that I guessed the bevel correctly. Okay, is there like 4 points active at most frames? I might be able to solve this here soon. Let's give it a try. I'm gonna go and put a point over here just to help fill out something out on this side. Whoa! This guy almost looks like, this guy looks like someone. Where's my, hold on, I have to type in who this guy looks like. He looks like this dude. Look, I think that's pretty good. I think that's pretty close. Okay, yeah. Alright, let's get that out of here. No more cheap laughs. A comm, I think it was about 3,600. Ooh. Okay, I'm gonna do a quick solve and just see what this does. See if it even solves. So I'm gonna go automatic. I don't think I'm gonna set my beginning and end frames yet. So I'm gonna hit go. Also, I hit solve, nothing happened, and the likely cause is that Synthesize, if you have multiple cameras and objects, they will also try to solve at the same time. So because our camera 1 has nothing in it, it just errors everything out. And unfortunately, that means the other thing doesn't solve either. So let's go disable camera 1, back to camera 2, hit go. Okay, so we got something and it looks like trash. Alright, so let's see, what might it be? I'm gonna start my frames, my starting frames. Let's go with frame 1, and we're gonna go frame, oh my, frame 2. Go. Oh my lord, did it work? What are these doing? Did I track the wrong details? I did. Yeah, tracker jumps. Okay, a comm, Blackmagic doesn't offer IBIS thing. That's good. That's a good thing. Which is good, I believe. Yes, sorry. I should have read forward. But my budget is for 4K. Wait, did I say a comm? Sorry, the message is to a comm. But yes, that's a good thing with no IBIS. No stabilization. Don't stabilize your shots if you're going to track them. Budget is for 4K. Is that good for VFX and short film? Is it going to be a future-proof purchase? You know, the thing with that, with future-proofed like resolution, a Blackmagic 4K is phenomenal for most projects still. It is phenomenal. Like, if you're a filmmaker who likes to do a lot of digital zooms, you're gonna want the 6K, because a lot of people nowadays are more and more only viewing 4K, like only viewing 4K. It's kind of snuck up and 1080's kind of leaving. Now that everything's in 4K, you're gonna be wanting to shoot 6K, so if you want to do any crops or anything, that's what you know, you're gonna need that. That being said, if your pixels are crisp enough, you can do some really good super sampling on your pixels and kind of make a nice looking 4K if you zoom your 4K footage up. Okay, this point, let's fix this ugly point. A point not even the father can love, and I'm the dad. I do not love this point. What did this one do? This one also jumped, didn't it? No, it didn't. Okay, so let's hit it with a solve. A little better. Okay, what else jumped? Things are going crazy. Okay, so on circles, the Earth and the ocean. So there's only one end here. Okay, so that seems fine. Circles. Circle seems fine. What's the cup doing? It has some pretty bad error there. The sign, did I track the wrong sign? No, I didn't. Dan, Sony a7S III is around the same price, is that? I don't know what that is. She looks like very uncomfortable. Oh yeah, she did have a split second of, oh crap, I've gotten into your photos. This might have been the moment where she realized. What is causing that error? Oh, you know what I should be doing too? Sorry. We're gonna go solver, refine, turn on calculate distortion. That gave me basically nothing. That should not be the case. Dan, is bigger sensor better for tracking? Having a bigger or smaller sensor doesn't really do much. Right now, the sensor that is this 4K. Oh, by the way, if you're shooting short films and you want better, more cinematic video, get the 6K. The 6K has a larger sensor, which means you're going to be able to get lenses that can give you a wider, like a much softer bokeh effect. This camera does not have a good like background blur. It doesn't. You can't blur as much as a larger sensor. I gotta sneeze. I muted that just in time. I almost didn't mute for some reason. I don't even know why. See, a bigger sensor, like you're not gonna get much crisper than this. I mean, I could have focused this a little bit better. Like, I have had more tack sharp footage than this. But if you have the proper lens, it's also about the lens. The glass quality is so important. If you get a cheap lens, you're gonna have a hard time getting like super sharp footage, even if you focus as good as the lens can possibly give you. But if you have a good lens, you're not gonna notice the detail difference in your sensor size. What is the problem here? This is erroring out a lot. Why? And Earth circles the Earth end. Okay, we're gonna do a very boring scavenger hunt. This honestly, this kind of takes me a long time whenever I have to do it. Just not about the depth of field. The bigger sensor, get more light. Yeah. That's a good point. Which is weird though, because the new Blackmagic isn't that much better in low light. Actually, it might not be better. I might just have to put a couple more points in here. Yeah, let's go ahead and try get this thing. I'm gonna track the top of this, and I'm gonna keep note that I gotta track the top of this bevel. Oh no, wrong detail. Oh, you know what? I think this moves... something changed here. No, that's kind of right. I'm gonna zero weight this. You know what? This last frame might actually be screwing me. I'm gonna trim it. Hold shift, move that. Sometimes a frame of bad data can ripple across your shot. That didn't do much. I just got a heads up, give a heads up to anybody watching. This is likely going to take me a little bit to find the tracker, so I am going to F7 and these 18 trackers. Well, this might actually not take that long, but I got to really examine which one is. One of these has to be giving me grief. And unfortunately, velocity is not going to tell me what is what, because this shot is overall so erratic that these lines don't mean anything. But I am just going to start at the first frame, tracker 1, end at 18. So I can come over here and I can hit down arrow and we can cycle down the trackers. So I'm going to lock on. And let's just watch these. Okay. Looks like the same A, good. And this is the A that I've checked 1,000 times already. And also doesn't come back. This A doesn't come back. Crazy graph. This A doesn't come back. So Earth and the ocean. So this is an ocean A. Earth and, okay, so the ocean A does not come back. Circles the I. That one's easy. Rhythm, this one was easy too. I checked this one. Oh, pfft. Well, okay, well here's the problem already. And this is the T. Yeah, okay, so there's a problem. Bring this back. Whoops, hold Z. Okay, so that already fixed a lot of points, wow. So let's not just stop there, let's just look for more points. Dan, crazy fact, young Sherlock Holmes were tracked manually. Young Sherlock Holmes. Young Sherlock Holmes. Is this Enola Holmes? There's a young Sherlock Holmes? Or are we talking about an old show that I'm too millennial to know about? The Stained Glass Knight, one of the first ever CGI characters in the film. Ooh, I want to see that. Wig, hello. Good to see you. Okay, so it looks like this one is fine. So now we're going to check out another point. Oh, this white detail comes back. So I'm going to unlock this. And we're going to do a quick solve. Okay, now we're going to go down another tracker. There has to be more wrong. There has to be. And I feel this one I zero weighted. If this one's kind of correct, it feels so correct. I'm going to bring this one back. I'm bringing this one back. Solve. Okay, go down another tracker. What am I on? 12? Okay, we don't have very many left to go. Carter, correct, crazy. Kinda actually want to see that. So here's a tracker that kind of weirded me out. It is the lowest, what would I call it, slab? You know what, I can bring it back here. Okay. Another next point. I could track here. Why did I not do that? Oh man, that might be it too. I'm not gonna risk that. This has got to be it. Carter, it's nuts how long into the CGI era people were, still just basically brute forcing their camera moves and alignments. Have you ever... Wow, I was really just about to ask, have you ever watched Jurassic Park? Jurassic Park, one of my teachers in school was one of the dudes who was helping kind of pioneer those dinosaurs. We were talking about the camera, like manual camera move that they had to do for the first when the heroes are running in the field and there's like all these, what, I don't know what kind of dinosaur they are. A lot of dinosaurs are running towards the camera. They hid behind a log, and you watch all their feet on the ground and think that looks crazy. And somebody had to match move that. It slides, but you know, you don't notice or care. Okay, I didn't lock this one. And let's keep going down. 13. Okay, down here. The sign. Oh, I can track this one. That's the same sign. I thought it was the other sign. Now it's gone. And down again. Where am I? The cup. The cup has got to be good. All right, down. If I messed this one up, I don't deserve to be in this industry. Oh my god, I met... As I say that, this is possibly the biggest move that a tracker has made. So up here, it jumps right down to here. That is so bad. So this is probably the biggest offender. And I'm also going to extend this back and get that last frame in. Okay, what point was that? 16, we got 2 more trackers. We're probably already good, but we're going to make sure this is good. Oh, this one's easily good. That one, pretty hard to mess up. And this top slab. Yes, another one that's pretty easy. And last point. Wait, was that the last point? Oh yeah, that was the last point. All right, cool, we're done. Let's do a solve. And what is our error now? Went from 5 down to 0.6. You can see the errors look kind of high, but I don't know. We do want a few more points in this. Oh, half the trackers are gone. Why? Carter, I was just reading a Cinefx from 2003 where one of the artists is like, yeah, we tried tracking software, but it had a hard time, so we just did it all manually. That's weird. At the time, maybe? Yeah, I guess. Okay, so we are at a point, I will say we are at a point where you could see we have our survey data. These points, you would track these same details in other shots, like track one of the corners, and then you can constrain it to the other one. We're not super far off. We're gonna get the solve just a little smidge better, and then we're gonna do some things in Maya. We're gonna scale it, and then we'll come back to Synthesize, constrain the other shot, and call it done. Some people might already know what they're doing, so they might just jump out and leave me alone. Let's go back. Oh, look at that distortion. Alright, filthy, weird green juice goop at the bottom here is accumulated. Also, that got very hot and gross. What's the future of match moving? iPad have an app that tracks the camera with the new video. I saw that. That's really cool. That app is really cool. Future of match move? This is a talk that I've had with a number of people. I think I've even had it on stream. Okay, there's some amazing AI out there. And if you need proof of that alone, go watch 2-minute papers and see what people are doing with just reading images. But having seen those and also having worked for 8 years, you know, tracking images and knowing what the data needs and what it does and what can and can't calculate, we are a long way out before the majority of hard shots are automated. There's so much data that will never be able to be calculated. And some people might say, but it'll catch up. No, there's actually some physically impossible things that can't be calculated. But maybe what might happen is that something that I would kind of like to see is some really good motion control in camera that is so accurate that they can pass us the data, give us really clean paths, and that kind of makes it so that we mostly have to be concerned about the camera rotation. So it kind of takes the path out of the equation. That would be really cool. That's kind of like Zeus. It's kind of like Zeus data, but Zeus data was very jittery. Okay, so let's get some fast points here. Let's go. I'm just gonna thunder through a few of these. Again, I'm not going for extreme perfection. You know what? I am gonna turn on Z-drop lock because I hope that it wasn't me. Whoops. I hope that it wasn't me that hit the wrong button and placed trackers in weird positions. This is also kind of a good example, this shot, of even though there is so much free move, you can see that if you let your trackers not track all the way, they're still offset. So you have to make sure that you track them as far as they can go, because tracking software is not perfect. I could see it there, but I don't really want to put the point down. It's this one, right? Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4. There are 4 points here. Let's see if it solves. Yeah, so we got this frame to solve. Let's get some corners on these slabs. Jamal, hello, it's been a while. Good to see you, Jamal. We're almost done with our survey shot, and then I'm gonna go into Maya, do a basic model of the set and scale, and then we're gonna come back into Synthesize and we're going to solve this shot with our survey. Actually, we might solve it quickly with the data as it is, and then if anybody wants to watch me do this in Maya and then bring the geo back, you can, but you don't have to. That part's kind of irrelevant after I solve this with the data. Have to solve each image. Yeah. Well, you know, when you solve each image, it's like a, you know, it's like a shot. So you're solving a sequence like you usually would. Oh, how could I not track this dot? Let's get this weird thing. That does not last long. Is this even the same spot? This one might be wrong. Solve. Whoa. Let's undo that. Yeah, so that was a completely different... Yeah, that was... I tracked this by accident. So we got that point here. Jamal, fine, Calvin, because it's 5 a.m. Why are you awake? I wish I had more of this big white dot. Oh, I kind of do. I have 3 frames. I think that's the same dot. There's only one big dot, so I'm going to solve, see what it does. Yeah, that's it. That's one dot. Oh, and it's right there, too. Trying to recognize some points on this pillar, but it's not going so well. These pillars, I am going to model these pillars, but there might be a weird way that I place them. Dan, why you didn't shoot the video around this monument images only? Video is just, you know, if you shoot a video, you're going to be doing the work of tracking two shots. And if you walk around this with a video, that shot, the time it takes you to get around, that's probably gonna be like more than 1,000 frames. You could take snippets of frames out of it, except now you've got to take the time to find the frames where you didn't shake the camera. So no motion blur, no rolling shutter. Typically, images are far sharper, higher resolution, and you know, better quality. That being said, I just took still frames out. I used the camera button on my Blackmagic. It basically gives you a still of what the footage would shoot. But, you know, I held it still as I could so I wouldn't get any shutter warp. But yeah, generally images, you want to do your sets fast. So just take like 10 images orbiting your set, more if you want, and do a quick solve of them. You don't want to spend a long time on these. Oh, I like this. That one lined up pretty well. So, with this now, let's see what the worst trackers are, why they are the worst trackers real quick. I'm gonna do a couple really janky points on some corners, on some flat areas, and we're going to jump into Maya now. Or I can solve the shot just with this data as it is. I don't know if people want to tell me. Should I take this immediately into Maya, do some quick models, and do some really quick geometry, bring it back into Synthesize? Or should I use the data as it is raw and use it to solve the other shot right now? Right now. Because I don't know what I want to do exactly. Show both? See, if I show both, then it actually, there isn't a choice, because then I'm going to Maya. So I could do Maya first if people want to see Maya. What is the better way to do that? So they're both good. The Maya way, depending on how high detail your geo is going to be how useful it is. And that way, the more geo you build, the more shots that you have in your scene that you're laying out to the same world, your geo is going to make it much more clear and be a better representation of the set across all the shots. That being said, you can use this data alone, track all your shots, and each shot, you can actually build out your geo per shot. And in the end, you can merge geo from all these different shots into one big layout. It's really an either or kind of a thing, so that's why I kind of was asking like what people wanted me to do. I could do either or first. But if I'm going to show both, it means I'm literally going to go into I'm going to have to go into Maya first anyway. Okay, so I should get something over on this massive, vast path over here. I think this is it. Yeah, that's it. Also, let's get a little bit more fancy distortion in here, see if that helps us. So I'm gonna go turn on, I'm gonna check off a lot of things actually. Okay, so now that we've calculated that, look at what my distortion is doing here. You can see that I have much more sharp corners with this lens. That's also the benefit of having a camera orbit around a big free move, is that you can get a much more accurate distortion to calculate. So you can see this point, look at what this did. What's my error too? Error went from 1.2 to 0.8. A calm rolling shutter is same like rolling shutter cameras, bigger sensor help but not much. Actually, I don't know. Does it, because like a bigger sensor and a smaller sensor have to capture your image just as fast, right? Does that change the shutter? Maybe it does. Never thought about that actually. I just wish all cameras have global shutter, but that is pricey. Why is this erroring out so much? This is erroring out too. You know, something I also want to try. I don't know if Survey Shot listens to this, but transition frames. Transition frames. When a tracker turns off, it smooths your solve to account. It turns waiting for some of these trackers off when they're going off screen. We don't want that for this. We want a janky, jittery camera for this. So I'm gonna turn this off and see what happens. See if some of the error goes down. Whoa! Look at that. So the error overall got very even, apparently. And these points, I don't know what's up with this. Oh, this was the one. Oh, you know what? This point here. So I tracked a foreground speck and then I stretched the point out across this. So you know what? Whoops. I'm gonna bring this where it wants to be. I don't trust this. No, you know what? We're gonna track the center of this big mess because you know what? Screw that point. I don't want it there. Never liked it anyway. Let's track the corner. Not like I'm gonna get it much better. Actually, let's track this. Dan, if a shot has rolling shutter, should I address that before tracking? So, Did I miss that earlier? Did you ask that and did I just kind of ignore it? So my thoughts on that have changed. Not much, honestly. If you have rolling shutter on a shot, I would highly encourage you to start looking into just calculating distortion here, rolling shutter calculated here. Hopefully clients you work with or a studio you work with or maybe yourself, take the shutter value into your physical cameras in Redshift, Arnold, Blender, and actually just render real rolling shutter. Nowadays, it's not very taxing on your renders. It really isn't. So if I were you, calculate with rolling shutter on. Your track is gonna look like it's not sticking. But once you take it into other software, render with the shutter value, your CG is gonna snap itself in place. What you can also do to better represent it, because if these points are gonna be offset to pretend they're shutter, it's gonna, like, how do you work with that? It's gonna look like it's sliding. You can come up to script, projection screens, rolling shutter compensator. And what that's gonna do is it's going to put a plane, a screen in your, attached to your camera. It's gonna give you an image plane. And that plane is gonna warp and give you a really nice approximation of what the shutter will look like. But don't use that to render, just use it, don't use it to render, just use it to help you visualize your CG in Maya or Cinema 4D or Houdini, whatever you're working in. So for me, I would take that value, put it into your renderer, and then actually have your CG render it realistically. Was that this here? I don't like the looks of this. I'm gonna have to stop in a second here because I'm going a little bit too long on this survey shot. And it's okay for what we're doing. If you're doing a shot like a proper shot, you know, put more points on here, take your time. But I'm gonna stop this. I'm taking too much time. That's some quiet music. Nope, I need to track that. Okay, so let's see. Dan, thanks, really helpful. Nice. It's good to hear that that part was helpful. The rolling shutter, it gets people. That's a huge thing in a workflow that a lot of studios overcomplicate nowadays. Now we can do it easily, but it's gonna take some warming up for people to get used to the idea of it. It seems. But I really hope that at Track VFX we can start pushing it with big clients. Okay, so I'm not gonna track anything major anymore. You know what I better do? Otherwise I'm gonna regret it greatly. Is I should put a couple more like environment points. Just some stuff close by. Actually, let's get the cylinder, because we're gonna model the cylinder out. And I can't tell what's what. It looks like it's the grassy edge. So it's gonna be this right here. And slightly under that. And it's gonna be right here, but I don't like that I can't get a perfect read on it. And this detail. Okay, that's another one. We're getting all the best points. getting into that habit talked about earlier where I'm just kind of doing the one more thing. So, sorry. I keep thinking, okay, I'm gonna put a cylinder here in Maya, and I'm like, oh man, I wish I put a locator there. So I mean, I'm just kind of thinking that in my head and not liking my current decision making. Wow, this point is hanging on. This might be the longest lasting point in the shot. In fact, it might be. Let's give it a look. Yeah, this is the longest lasting tracker. Only one frame missing. See, the reason I'm like, oh, one more point here and there, like every time you add a point and you look at these jump away, you see them jump around whenever you give it new data, and it's like that would be a wireframe edge moving over a few pixels. So I keep, like, I want to do this fast and just jump out of my Synthesize already. But I think that's it. Yeah, let's just get out of here. I'm gonna get out of here. So I'm gonna do I'm gonna try and orient this, I think, here. So I'm gonna take this. I'm gonna take all the points. That should be flat. I'm gonna give them a color them whatever you want. And now let's look over here. This is more of a Maya thing. I should do the orientation for this in Maya because I'm going to be able to snap it more perfect to a world center. I could do like point stuff and snap this all down, but it's not that fun here. Jamal, it's been 2 months without match moving or even photogrammetry. I miss it. Oh, I don't know if I would miss it. I'll be honest, these days sometimes match move is weighing on me. Because like I've just been doing it for 8 years and lately I've been doing so many tough shots. I wish I could show the shots that I've got. There's some really cool stuff. And I wish I could stream it, but that stuff is like very, very long work to replicate on stream. It's mostly deforming stuff. Like I specialize more in deforming. I'm not the best at solving stuff. Like this point, I don't even know what that point's doing. Why it's doing that. I'm not the best at iterating solves. Okay, so yeah, I'm gonna take this into Maya. I'm gonna model it in Maya and I'm gonna orient it in Maya. Okay. Dan, can survey images be taken from different camera and lenses? Yep. So I addressed that I think twice at the start of the stream. When you make a survey shot, it's gonna make you save an IFL, and with that IFL, you can import images from anywhere, and they could be different aspect ratios, different resolutions, and then yeah, that's it. Synthesize is then going to make. It's kind of loud. Synthesize is then going to make a resolution that's going to encapsulate all those images and their sizes. So it's gonna tell you like, oh, what's the film back of your camera? Just put whatever film back, it doesn't matter. Because at that point, none of the lenses mean anything to one another. So, yeah. Even Google Maps. Yes. Yeah, you can take Google Maps. Russ actually has a tutorial on his YouTube channel to use Google Maps images and synthesize and constrain to them. It's very handy. Okay, so let's do some Maya. This is not like amazingly perfect, I know. You need a lot more points, and also the thing too is that I've never gotten a perfect solve in Synthesize from my Black Magic, and I don't know if it's because like the distortion, we saw this warp here. I don't know if it's because I don't have enough parameters in here, because this is nothing compared to 3DE. 3DE, you can get some awesome solves if you have survey data. 3DE kind of sucks without survey data. Synthesize is great without survey data because you have all these really nice, easy, fast tools. Is there anything else I might want to turn on? Not really. Okay, so let's go lens workflow. Apply. There we go. We got our distortion. Okay, now let's go ahead and jump clean into Maya. So I'm gonna go File, Export. No, I got Maya ASCII. You can use FBX if you want. ASCII is just very quick and easy if you're a Maya user. Okay, one moment. Tracking. I'm just gonna save this in my tracking folder. MA. Actually, no. This is also gonna be my Maya file, so I'm just gonna go Maya and Yale version 1. Save. And make sure your rotation order is ZXY. This is hard to explain why. You could leave it on XYZ, but just trust me, it's better on XYZ. You will probably never run into an issue as to why this is better, so don't worry if you don't change that. So okay. And now, Maya, I'm gonna go Control I. And over in this window, we can come. I just had to hide some files because work stuff. You can just paste, because Synthesize, every export out of Synthesize goes into your clipboard. So just paste your file, import. Okay, so now we're in Maya. First thing I'm gonna do, hide this image plane. It's disgusting and serves no purpose in the perspective view. So hide. I'm also gonna split my view, toss my camera over here with middle mouse drag, and I'm gonna go hold space, click drag to your perspective view, and Alt B to change your background color if you need to. Dan, when are you going to do the clone stream? The clone stream might be in like in 2 weeks, because I need to be more comfortable in Fusion, because I do want to do part of that in Fusion. I could totally do it without Fusion, so it's fine. I might do it sooner. Track and line up the image planes, but the roto side of it and comp side of it will be on you guys. But it will be very easy for you guys to figure out, trust me. Jamal, I've been playing a bit with Houdini suddenly. I saw people comparing Houdini with Maya, Weta, and VFX. I would be very interested to see Maya Weta, or Weta Maya. What is it, Weta M? What are they calling it? I don't remember. I've seen that Maya. It looks really cool. I would love to see more about it, especially with the work that Weta does. So I need my undistorted plate. So let's go back to Synthesize, and I'm gonna go save sequence, hit the 3 dots, Synthesize, survey images, set photos, and I'm gonna go into EXR, just because I wanna steal the name of my sequence. And we're gonna go add survey underscore UD, enter. Oh wait, I don't want that to be EXR. You could use EXR, Maya reads EXRs, but I like JPEGs. Not as heavy. Also, the resolution is kind of high. Why was that resolution so high? Was it just that high because of this? That's extreme. Okay, so here I can go type in underscore UD, enter, whoops, over survey underscore UD. Why is that wrong? Oh, also JPEG. There we go. Weta M is a cloud service, and that's the turnoff for me at least. That's a cloud service? Oh, that's annoying. All right, so this shot, we're gonna model it, and then we're gonna scale it later. So first I'm gonna bake this out. Look, this, I'm gonna use a button. If you guys don't have the button, sorry, go to HK Tools. There is a thing on my Discord. If you come down to matchmove tools, hopefully there'll be more in the future of people sharing. But at the top, I put HK Tools. Download this, and it's literally a drag and drop into viewport, and you get this shelf, and it's matchmove tools. So I'm gonna use this and go big cam and reset scale. Yes. So now the camera is outside of the group. And locators, might as well kick that out of here too. I'm gonna call it locks. And I'm also gonna put locks on a display layer. And in the display layer, let's make it something bright. Make it something bright and obnoxious for yourself. I'm gonna select all the trackers and scale them up a little bit. And I'm gonna take the plane and I'm going to turn its alpha gain. Do I want the alpha gain? No, I don't want the alpha gain down. I want the color gain down just a little bit, not much. Just a little bit, just to make the yellow pop out slightly more. All right, so first thing that I think I want to do is I want to knock out the giant circle at the top. And yeah, why? I don't know. Actually, I do know. If you're gonna start modeling a shot like this, it's best if you find the most symmetrical thing that you can find and make that the center of your scene. So I'm gonna start with the pipe. I'm gonna snap the pivot over here, snap it over here, and let's. Oh, if I scale it like this, are these inputs gonna work properly? Seems so. Let's turn the axis right up, something like 80. So if you want to see this, if I were you, don't go for, don't be using polygon display backface culling, because that doesn't include your faces. So what you want to do is assign a shader. You're going to go into 5, so you're in shaded view. Now right click, favorite material, use background. Also make sure aliasing is always on. Always turn on aliasing. Houdini is much better. Yeah, totally. It's hard to beat Houdini. Okay, so now that this sphere is here, I'm going to do anything that I want to do to this to get it to work. And then I'm going to use this cylinder on my overall scene. I'm going to zero it out, and it's going to orient my whole scene perfectly to this. So we're going to look for these points here. Right there. Now, how close can we get it now? Wait, are those what I thought they were? Because this doesn't feel right. Please tell me that this is not a trippy... Oh no. Is this not a circle? It's gotta be a circle. Okay, so now that we selected it, what's this? What did I select there? Oh, okay. Now that I selected a couple more points, I'm going to make another display layer. Let's make these red. Wireframe unshaded. Oh, what? Oh no. Okay. So. I should have put more points over here. It seems like the solve is not connecting this very well. Either this isn't a perfect circle, which I doubt? I don't know. I kind of stopped that sentence abruptly and now I don't know what I was saying. This is kind of scary. So if I solve now, it's a good thing I didn't do much. And now that I've kind of done all the work with the plates and stuff, this would be a fast swap, but oh my god, this is annoying. Sorry to everyone. Most of your points are on the inner face of the pipe, not the outside, right? So you'd want to keep scaling till the inside hits those points. Yeah, but if this is a perfect circle and the inner circle solved as a perfect circle, the outside should have been fine too. Let's try that though. Maybe that's it. Let's see. Let's hide this first. Okay, so what did I select? Oh my god. Well, there's one point. That's one thing wrong. Remove selected objects. Wow. Okay, so the inner points thing, that's there's some truth to that because, well, I colored an inner point and snapped to that. I shouldn't have done that. So if that's what you meant, yeah, I am a failure. Okay, that's looking better. Okay, so I'm going to select all these interfaces. You could shrink these down. Sometimes if you have weird shapes, you can go transform component and you can move these perfectly on their normals. Let's go back around to that side. Make sure that This is flush. That is pretty close. That is damn close. So I don't know how perfect this big cylinder is, because that's something you're gonna find in life, is that everything is very imperfect. Okay, Kaizen. What's that? Is there a way to hide polygons covered by foreground objects in Synthesize? Like what you did in Maya, applying BG material. Synthesize viewports gets really messy. Yes. Yes. So this is only a newer version of Synthesize, which most people should just have. I have 1709, which I've been rocking, but I am in 18... What am I in? Oh, I'm in 1905. Yeah, so you can do that here. It's not as fast as other software, but come make a sphere. Let's make a box. And a teapot. So if I hit F3, oh, by the way, this doesn't work here. You can't do it in this view, unfortunately. But perspective view is often faster anyway. So if I hit the pipe key and the key under backspace, the slash key, / whatever. If I hit that, we're in wireframe. But now you see that you still see the geometry. So you can right click, go view, come down to occluded wireframe. And there you go. That is it. If you have much more dense geometry, that gets kind of slow. Kaizen, no. Why'd you say no? Yeah, there you go. So, yeah, let's not touch this much more. Let's go to the end because, yeah, I changed that a little bit. Just a smidge. All right, so now that I have that, here's what we're going to do. Actually, we're not going to orient this yet. Something that I would have done is if you take your camera and your locators, group it, put it under your pipe, and then take your pipe, center its pivot. That's a weird center. Why did it center like that? Oh, because it has all this stuff, sorry. Let's ungroup, take your pipe, modify, center pivot. So now it's perfectly center. You could take your cameras and stuff, put it under the pipe, zero out, translate, and rotates. Now you have... Why is it going there? Did I freeze that earlier or something? Maybe I did. So you can snap this to your grid. And now you have a very perfectly level scene. You have a very perfectly level scene now, hopefully, because you found something that is hopefully perfectly level, made an object to it, and you use that rotations, you zero it out with the cameras under it, and you straighten everything out. Okay, I might need to take a 5-10 minute break in a moment. I didn't really want to move this. Now that I've moved this, if this geo and these points will not snap into Synthesize the same. So because of that, I can't just snap these points as data over here. I have to do this another way now. Okay, so workflow has changed slightly. Another day I'll show another thing. So now we're doing it the Maya, orient the scene, build out the set, and use these locators. We're doing it this way now. Akam, let's take a break. I need a break too. Yeah, I should take a break. You know what? Yeah, let's take a break. Let's take a break. Yeah, break time. So, I don't know how to put a timer on this, unfortunately. What time is it? For me, it's like 9:37, so whatever your time is, you're 37. Let's come back. I'm going to come back at 50. I'm going to come back at 9:50. So, like 13, 12 minutes. So, yeah, I'll be back then. All right, 30 seconds coming back. All right, music down, and swap back to main. Okay. Let's make the cylinders, make a ground, make the base here, and might extrude down. I might do just a couple cuts and extrude down these little platform things, and we're not gonna make them super tight. Yeah, we're not gonna make them super tight. Okay, let's go. So, cylinders. I did the zero out thingy, right? So my scene is already perfectly, yes it is. So something I want to try really quick. Wait. There is an easy way to perfectly get these cylinders. I'm gonna try something. Let's go with a big cylinder. And what is this? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And let's do a hold D and C to snap to curve. And I'm gonna put this right over here where they use background. And we're gonna center it on this cylinder. Now, I'm going to hold DV, snap it to the camera. And this cylinder here, I'm going to scale this back until it's nice and centered. Whoops, I can't see it over there. Make sure it's centered. See, it's centered there, the one edge. We can't see it here. There, that one edge is centered to that cylinder. Now, here's what we're gonna do. Why is my pivot moved away? I don't know why that happened, but let's go D, V, snap. And we're gonna scale this out. And what you can see is happening is I'm getting an edge for every cylinder. All right, so now that we have this, I'm actually just gonna assign a new surface shader and make it transparent. So now with this, actually I'm just gonna get rid of this. Should have just highlighted from the top, really. So that wasn't super perfect. I'm gonna try something that I haven't actually done before. Oh, this music's kind of loud. I'm gonna try something I haven't done before. No, that's kind of annoying. Because what I want to do, I want to avoid having to scale this on every single... you know what, it's not that bad. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna move this into place. Snap pivot to camera, scale, and now we'll just look at it over here. Wow, that's actually pretty good. You know what? This one kind of was nailed. Damn, that one's pretty good, actually. So I'm gonna do this. And this here, I'm going to scale it down, or bring it down just a little bit. Oh, all these cylinders aren't even. That's fine. Okay, so now we have this. I don't know if I want to let's try this. I'm just kind of winging this here. Oh, you can see one of these is very slanted. So these pillars are different, so I do have to do individual adjustments. Crap. Dan, are RGBD depth cameras, are they useful? How to use it with LiDAR? I don't know enough about those to comment on it. I've heard about it, but not a lot. Not a lot. You know what, we're gonna call that one done. I'm only gonna model, I'm not gonna do all these cylinders, I think. I'm gonna model what's visible in the shot. I'm just gonna make like these 3 and call it done on the pillars. Oh, I should have did this. Also, why am I not putting use background on these? Use background, 5 shade. Oh, you can see this one here too. Oh yeah, I'm not gonna focus on that one. Close enough. And let's bring this down a little bit. Whoops. Modeling tracks is never usually that fun. This is pretty slow and boring. I am very sorry. Also, I could be doing this a lot better. What I would do, I have a method to make this a lot better, but it is more tedious and not something I want to do on stream. I might do it on 1 cylinder. I will do it on 1 cylinder, it's pretty handy. Okay, let's do this trick on the closest cylinder. It's funny, I say I have this trick, I've never done it before, I just thought of it on the fly just now. So let's see if it works. Create, NURBS, circle. Where'd it go? What? I don't get it. What did I do? Okay, let's create NURBS circle. What? Create. Oh, it's an interactive. I don't use interactive creation. So I didn't realize. Okay, so doesn't matter where this is in depth. If this works, I'm gonna use this for everything, honestly. So we're gonna do that. And now hold D, V, snap the, where's the camera? The camera's so small, why don't I scale that up? 20. Okay, so that little oh, let's hide this dumb pillar. We don't need that. That was kind of a dumb idea. I should have just took the time to do this method. So hold D, snap the pivot to the camera with V. So now we're scaling it back. So go to another frame, scale it back. And there is your perfect base. Check a couple other frames. Do a little scale if you have to. That's kind of off. Unless I saw overlapping of that pillar. It might also be that imperfection in myself, so it's fine. Okay, so I'm gonna duplicate it, move it up, and I'm gonna temporarily center its pivot. So yeah, this way is pretty tedious, but again, if you're going for perfection, I'm liking what I'm doing so far. Hold DV, snap. And scale. And you know what? That's close enough. It looks pretty good. I like it. So now that you have these two, select both of them, spacebar, come over to surfaces. Where's surfaces? Here, cool, and then loft. Now that you've got a loft, come over and actually we're gonna undo that. We're gonna go back to surfaces. Why am I losing? I never look at surfaces. Loft, settings, and let's make this polygons. Match render tessellation. What's this gonna look like? Oh, that's not too bad. I like that. That's not too bad. That's pretty good. I like it. Okay, so. Oh wait, I missed a couple things. I missed a couple questions, sorry. Let me right click, use background. Oh, Loft made a bigger cylinder. What is this? That was bigger. Okay, let me answer those questions in 1 second. Why would it do that? Tessellation method, standard fit. Let's start with general. Ew. Let's go count. Okay, it's tighter. I like that. I like count the best so far. Apply. Standard fit. What's the difference? I don't know. Oh. Control point, I know what that is now. I know why it's bigger. It went to the control points of the NURBS curve of the NURBS circle. Okay, we're just gonna keep with count. So I like count. Count kept the fit better. Yeah, you could see here. You could see the points actually hit with the thing. So let's see those questions real quick. Acom, damn, so much work. How can I learn this much shit? Just binge watch everything I've ever done. No, I'm just kidding. Acom, why you scale the camera? Oh, I'm not scaling the camera. I'll do it again though. I'll show you. Dan to visualize it, I think. Did I? Oh, sorry, that. Okay, yeah. Camera. I didn't actually scale it, although you can scale the camera and it doesn't mean anything. But what I did was I went to channel box, and instead of scaling, I went to locator scale. This camera shape, this is a locator. It's called a locator. You can scale it up, and it's just for visualization. Okay, so, whoops. Oh no. If you ever move your camera because it's not locked, I'm gonna lock my camera right now. Oh, I also don't have auto key on, so I could have scrubbed my timeline and my camera would have snapped back, but I'm gonna lock this for now. No, I mean for match the shape with real shape. Oh, I'm not scaling the camera, I'm scaling from the camera. So, why I did that? Because that is how you're triangulating. You're actually doing manual photogrammetry. Photogrammetry is measurement using photos. And that's what I did manually, is I measured the distance of that pole from the camera on 2 frames, and I triangulated the position of those pillars. Because I don't have trackers for these pillars. So I took two circles, triangulated the base and the top of the cylinder, then I made a thing on it. This is the first time I've ever done this method, honestly. I just kind of thought of it in my head. I like it though. Something I do want to do, I want to smooth this. Maybe with a linear smooth. And push strength up. Does this act funny? That looks pretty good. Yeah, the linear smooth went and filled out those corners very nicely. Exponential will erode it in. So we don't need these curves anymore. So I'm gonna get rid of that. And hit 5, put some use background on here. That pillar's a little dense in Geo, but whatever. You know, I'm not gonna do that last pillar. Unless you want me to. Unless somebody wants me to do that trick one more time with the scaling the circles and lofting it. If somebody wants me to do it again, I could do it again, but I don't want to. Honestly, it's kind of late. Let me save this. Okay. Okay, so let's just do this base. Let's just do this base now, and I'm gonna steal this, and whoa. Let's get rid of everything under it. So I'm gonna snap the pivot up to the surface, and then I'm gonna snap this down to the ground, then I'm gonna scale this. Get to the edges. That's close enough. I'm not gonna go into crazy detail. I don't want to. I'm also gonna go face, select all these faces now. And I'm going to scale them out until we reach the edge of the steps here. You see, oh, you can see the steps, this thing here. I'm scaling up to there. Also, you could see it snaps over there too. Okay, now let's scale this down to reach the lowest point. Good. Now, here's what we're gonna do again. Souse, hello. Good to see you. Calvin, what's best Maya tutorials for this type of work? I don't know. So my favorite Maya tutorials is, because to me, tracking and making Geo and learning weird tricks and stuff, this guy. I like this dude. Elemenza. These are my favorite modeling tutorials ever. This guy is so good. And I've learned so many random little tricks here and there. I forgot half of them, honestly. But this guy does very extensive stuff. But as a match move artist, you're going to be modeling a lot, and you're going to be trying to look for weird little things to make clean geometry. So if you're saying for this type of work, there's not really any education out there for this kind of work in Maya. Everyone just kind of assumes you know how to use Maya, because all you're doing is you drop in a camera, you make geometry, and you might bake a camera. That's the majority of what you're doing. That's all you're doing, really. So in terms of general tutorials, I mean, I actually don't know. Just general Maya stuff, if you can find it, I guess. Learn some of... Yeah, I don't know. That's a good question. But just my immediate thought is, I learned more from that stuff that I've applied to this stuff. And, yeah. Okay, so let's get these little platforms here. So I'm going to go multi-cut, hold control, click. Oh, that moved. That moved because I have edge flow on. Edge flow is very handy. One day I'll show it. So I'm going to make that ledge, and going to make an... I'm not going to hit the bevel exact. I'm going to hit somewhere up here. It's probably wrong, but whatever. Get off my back. Little bit, you know, not exactly on the bevel again. That one's probably okay. That one has a ledge. That one sticks out a little bit further. That might be an architectural thing. Okay. Now, I'm going to clip a... Oh, wait. We're going to take some edges. And now, if you hold Control, Shift, and then drag this stuff, you're edge sliding. So I'm going to edge slide, get that. Take this, edge slide, get that. And I'll bring it over a little bit more this way. Control H, just grab this, edge slide. Same over here, edge slide over. Oh, yeah, I think I don't remember if I read this, but yeah, but this is for modeling. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I've just taken a lot of weird things I've learned in modeling, and if, like this stuff, like modeling stuff like this, you can't deform it weird. You got to try and get it perfect. So, you know, this is not a destructive way to move an edge for the form factor. So yeah, modeling tutorials have kind of helped me a lot. Okay, now that I have that, let's go and separate these chunks out. Oh, I missed an edge. I can't see. Oh, this is a architecture thing. Okay, so that's just the rocks are not perfectly in line with the cylinder. Okay, I'm not gonna worry about that level of detail. I'm gonna go ahead. Ew, what is that? That shouldn't be that off. Did I miss that too? Huh. Okay. I think we're fine. Yeah, these are looking all right. They're looking close enough. This one I wish was better, but whatever. Ah, I keep missing the shape, the correct. That is really off too. What is that? Why is that so... Ah. Okay, that's fine. Let's just go. I want to get out of here so desperately. Oh, and the loops aren't on the inside. Okay. Oh, this is very sloppy. Do you have a vacuum? It looks like you spelled vacuum. Wacom. I have a Wacom, whatever. Apparently at the company they pronounce it both ways, which is weird. I like to say Wacom. I have a Wacom tablet right here that I'm monitoring the stream with, and then I have a Huion off to the side that I use. Okay, so I'm gonna extrude these. Oh wait, actually let's take the pivot, hold D, X, and this, and I'm gonna hold this, wait, shift, will this work? No. Okay, so I did a little tiny extrude just now, not much. I've technically made it imperfect, but now, but I made it so slight that it doesn't matter. So I'm gonna hold this, scale it in, until it matches this. Whoops. Let's just look at this view. Oh yeah, these are very imperfect. Yeah, these have moved around. The ground is shifted. Yeah, these have moved a lot. Okay, that's not me. That's not my alignment. I should have see, you would spend more time warping this. Ideally, I might have put a curve or oh, not a shape like this actually. You would have to manually adjust these and find the corners and put more trackers. So I'm gonna do one last dirty detail and I think we're going back into Synthesize and we're gonna finish this. How bored is everybody? This is getting kind of tired and slow. Okay, so extrude, and I'm gonna scale snap them together. I said I was gonna scale snap them together. There we go. And let's merge these corners because they're not merged. So I'm gonna select all, shift, right click, merge vertices, merge. There we go. And I have some n-gons, whatever. Yeah, so that's gonna be rough. Kind of defeats the purpose though of using the geo for Synthesize, but we're gonna be using the locators themselves. I could exactly just go in and start to nudge these around. I'll do it a little bit. Reset pivot. Alright, so not obsessing over that. Okay, so let's do a quick scale. So, I didn't measure this. I have to sneeze. Pillars, pillars. What would I call this? I don't know. I don't know what I'm gonna call it. I'm gonna call it steps. What's this? Oh, that's old. Don't need it. Camera. I moved it with all this stuff, so I'm gonna unlock it now. And I gotta get it out of all these transformed groups. And we're going to bake camera, reset scale, boom. Locks. I need locks out of here. And they better stay in the same spot. So help me. Yeah, they got a new transform now, but we can freeze that later. Okay, so we gotta scale this. So I'm gonna take all of it. Group. And let's see. I'm not gonna... I didn't take measurements of anything in here. So all we're gonna do is... so we're just gonna take a 6-foot dude. And also, let's make the ground pivot on the ground. We'll snap down to grid. And where was that girl walking? She's short. So I'm scaling my group, but the 6-foot man is outside the group. So just so you could see it, you see the guy is out here, and I'm just scaling the scene. Akam, why am I scaling? I'm scaling because you need to practice realistic world scale in your for your CG. Like simulations need it. Your characters need to be accurate scale. Yeah, you got to measure your sets and make sure your scene is scaled. Let's pretend, I don't know how tall she is, but let's pretend a 6-foot guy is like around this tall. Let's just pretend. What you could have done is you could have taken a measure tool, distance. If you measured something, you can click your vertices. See you have, oh, I clicked a weird couple of vertices. Yeah, so I clicked a couple points here and there, and you could see the measurement in, I think that's centimeters. So if you group these two locators in your group and then scale up, you could see the measurement change. So you can actually do it like that. I'm gonna get rid of the scale tool. Okay, well, so let's pretend this is done. Again, we cheated a couple things here and there, just didn't spend a lot of time putting tracker points, and so some of the geo is slightly not perfect. But the locators, the track locators themselves is mainly what I'm gonna use. If your geo is absolutely amazing, you can pin the geometry and just drop your points onto that geo if you want. It's up to you. It's dependent on how much you trust your geo, how much time you spent on it. So I'm gonna take all of this. I'm gonna duplicate it, shift, and I'm also going to combine these duplicates, shift Alt D to get rid of those history things. So I just merged it into one chunk, and now I'm gonna shift I to isolate it, because I'm gonna give it a couple divisions here and there, because for distortion reasons, Synthesize wants more geometry to display your wireframes accurately. So I'm just giving it a few. These are particularly long faces with no vertices to bend. So I'm just adding a couple polys to it. Same here. Okay, so this is our this is our set. Not amazing, but we're gonna dump it into Finalize right now. So I'm gonna export selection. Survey. I'm just gonna dump it into my tracking folder. Oh wait, actually yeah. What would I call it? I don't know. I'm gonna call it set geo. And export. Now within Finalize, so this camera doesn't have the same orientation as the Maya camera now because we moved it, scaled it, and did everything in Maya. So this camera honestly doesn't mean much to us anymore. I could delete it honestly. But for now, I'm just gonna disable it. And I'm gonna hide whatever I can. Let's get rid of this geo first. Whoops. And let's see, Windows, hierarchy view. And camera 2, hide. Trackers, hide. Cool, because we don't want to see any of this anymore. So let's also make sure that its solving mode is disabled. Oh, I did that already, cool. All right, cool. So we're not talking about that anymore. We're gonna do this. So first, let's go 3D, import geometry, magic wand. Set geo. And now you can see our set geo is here, but I'm not gonna do much with it. So just to show you, if you want, I can go F3. Whoop, if you can't see it, come over to solver, drag your world size up. Okay, so if you wanted, you could take this and go to, in your F3, your perspective view, go to pinning, create edit pins, and you could now start to grab parts of the geo, line up some corners. For this, I'm also going to want to turn on field of view changes. And you can see the more that I adjust, the more things are coming into place. I can go up here. One point appears to be wrong. Which point is it? Oh. So here's the thing too. This method, when you pin stuff, so my camera has some wicked distortion on it, but when you pin, it's not accounting for distortion in your shots. So there is a very good chance that no matter how hard I try, I will never be able to align this perfectly. Also, you know, there was weird architecture things. I didn't go and sculpt every little detail. But you can pin, get your mesh as close as you want, and we can project onto this and just solve it and call it a day. But I don't wanna. So I'm gonna take this. I pinned it in a way where we moved the mesh away over here. So I'm gonna go script, mesh, make mesh ground. And it moved the camera and the whole scene over here. So if you ever have a nice alignment, but you wanna recenter everything, just hit that. I did scrub a bit. I don't know why that moved away so far actually. Oh, because I manually dragged it earlier. Okay, so now I can take this, make mesh ground again. You can see everything's the same, but we centered everything. Okay, but we're gonna ignore this for now. So let me quickly knock out some tracks, but what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna base them on locators in this shot. So what do I have here? I would like to try, what's visible? Let's go for The circles the Earth, the 2 A's. Circles the Earth, we have 1 A. And don't worry, this solve is going to be fast. This is going to be the fastest part of the stream. 1 done. Let's get that slab over there. Oh. Is that white point there visible? Oh yeah, it is. Can I get this point? Oh, there it is too. Right there on these, just peeking out the edge. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I can solve this now, and just for the sake of showing it, I'm gonna do it. But now the data we need is not in Synthesize, because again, we did everything in Maya. We need those locators, not what I had in Synthesize. So here's how we do it. I'm going to... This is going to be slightly annoying just because I have to display this for stream. Otherwise, I would use my second monitor. But here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to take... I always have a habit of making new locators for this. Snapping it to these locators. I'm actually going to hide... all of the geo. And just look at the locators. So I'm going to snap a point there and see this transforms. I'm going to copy this. So I'm going to take Maya onto my other screen because I have to swap windows if I don't. But just select your stuff, copy it. Okay, so I'm going to copy it. Select your track. Oh my goodness. Right, view, lock, Z drop. Where is that? Turn that off. There we go. Now I can select my point. Okay, trackers. You have your seed and lock stuff over here. I can paste right there. I'm going to take Y, paste, Z, paste, and now lock. That's 1 point done. Dan, importing geo back in PF track caused some problem. Maybe because focal length should be same to lineup. Importing geo back in PF track caused a problem. Maybe because the focal length. If you oriented anything in your other software and then tried to bring it back into PF track, you've changed your position and everything. Otherwise, it's weird that PF track would export a different scale or different stuff to Maya, and then when you bring it back, it doesn't work. I'm not too sure what would cause that. So let's take the white point. So I'm selecting the white point in my Maya, and I'm copying from the same spot. Paste. Oh, wait. Sorry, I gotta do something. Okay, I pasted a fresh locator onto it. And now, there we go. See, I got a different value. Okay, now that I have that, let's get that little tiny mossy speck. Paste. And let's see the A. And just for the last, temporarily the last one. Again, I'm just going to show. Take a fresh locator, because if your stuff is all under groups and there's transforms on these groups, this locator, see the transforms what they are now, 33? If I make a fresh locator, snap it there, you can see it has a different value. You want just the clean world space value of it. I should have baked all this stuff out, but you know, you got to deal with this. So I'm going to select that, paste. Lock. Okay, so I have 4, wait, what? Why is this not locked? So I have 4 points now. If we look, you could see they are constrained and they also match up with the geo. But remember oh yeah, this one's not on the corner. So these 4 points alone should let us solve. So I'm just gonna go ahead, turn on constrain, automatic, and hit go. Can't locate satisfactory frames. So it doesn't have enough data with such little amount of points, and also that 4th point shuts off there. So we're gonna go and take the initial frames, force it to start here, hit go. Yeah, I kind of figured that would happen. I was gonna try and make a little point about this, but I'm gonna just track a couple quick points. Dan, is lockdown over in Canada? That many people close to each other is kind of scary. It depends. We have a couple provinces that are not doing so well. Vancouver, we are almost at the 2nd stage of our lockdown. And outdoors, there's really no citations of a whole widespread of outdoors. They are a little bit close, but yeah, we're not too bad right now. We got 70% vaccinated, so we're kind of in the herd. We're actually not kind of. We are in herd immunity territory. We're at the point where we should be out of lockdown completely, according to scientists. If you listen to the sources and not the news outlets regurgitating. But yeah, right now Manitoba. Apparently Manitoba here in Canada is doing really bad, and they should be taking or continuing precautions. But here we're nearing stage 2, and a lot of stuff is going to open up to 50% capacity. Like, things are going to all open up, but 50% capacity. And then in September, we're going to be fully open. Everyone goes back to office and everything. Again, I got to stop talking vaccine stuff. I don't want to get people mad at me. I got a lot of opinions that'll make people mad. Let's see. Just a couple more points, and let's see what another solve does. I'm gonna get canceled. All right. Let's see what this does. Solve. Nope. Didn't like that. Why didn't it like that? I actually should have solved. So this lines up with that. This lines up with that. That's the corner. Yes, it is. This is the 2nd slab down. 1, 2. Yes, it is. And it's inside. This 2. Okay, so we got lock. Let's turn constraint off. Do a solve. Okay, so we did a bogus solve. So we have this garbage. Let me try constrain now. Nope. Let me try refine now. Hey. Okay, that shouldn't have worked like that. This is new synthesize and the new algorithms being silly. What's the whole point of a survey shot? I said that at the start. So the point of a survey shot is, now if I have many other cameras, all that have to live within the same exact world, like, oh, they got some matte paintings of some city destruction over here. any other camera that you shot that they tracked, they want that stuff to have continuity. So you line up all your cameras to the same set that you've built now off of survey images. So that's kind of it. It's meant for you to basically build your set and give you enough data you need to constrain to. So you can see we kind of did it, but now what we have to do, you can see things are a little bit off. This one, the normals are kind of messed up. Hold on, if I go to Maya, here's a nice little thing with Synthesize. Let's show my steps geo, and if I go shift right click and make sure that toggle culling is on, which it already is, I could see it. You can see that this pillar, the normals are facing the wrong way. So I'm going to double click, shift right click, reverse. Cool, that's correct. And now I'm going to export selection, but I'm just going to overwrite. I did that as an FBX. Cool. I'm going to overwrite that. And now with this geo selected, 3D, reload mesh, there we go. So we brought in the corrected mesh. You can see our pillar lines up. So one more thing, I do need distortion. Calculate and get the rest of this in here. Go. And now I can, so that's basically honestly it. If I had spent a lot longer to do a survey on this and got much more detail, much more precise modeling, you know, this would have been better. The locators that we snapped to would have been much more exact. But again, that would mean an extremely long stream. But that's kind of it. I'll do this thing again on another stream, but it's going to be for a photo scan, which is going to be this, but on steroids and way easier. So let's see, what have we got here? Is there something I can constrain on here? If I can get a point right here, what is this? Dan, this is amazing. Thank you, Dan. You're carrying it, man. Let's hide this. What is this exactly? I'm gonna go lock on. I'm gonna use a script. In HK Tools has a stabilizer, but you have to Shift Alt C. But make sure you're under the hotkey set. You have to click this hotkey, and at the bottom, make sure you're on HK Tool hotkey set, and then you can hit Shift Alt C, and you'll stabilize onto anything. But I'm gonna cheat and go to my layout tools and use our own stabilizer. So that's the top bevel of the top platform. Let's put a point then right here. Oh. Can you tell I'm tired? This tracker has bugged out. I don't know why Synthesize does this. It's frustrating, but here's how I can stop it from disabling every frame. Just hold C, create a new tracker, delete it. And now this tracker will be fine. It's so weird. Oh. And now that we have this top point, I'm going to snap another locator right here. And that locator, fresh, I'm going to copy these values back in here. Paste and lock. Okay, something I do want to see too is if I go F4, here's where that point should be, and this point should be right under as well. If I hit 0.8, oh weird, 0.8 kind of forced it. Anyway, this should be over here, so this point might force this point over here, and we might see this pillar snap into place. So Shift G, hey, look at that. So it brought it closer. And again, we can go crazy, and if I put more points, like see all this stuff on the wall, if I track this stuff bench maybe. I can track this and constrain all these points, get it even more perfect. So if you wanted, what you could do is, so you have the shot. Let's pretend your solve was amazing. You can go create, locator, get the stabilizer out of here. Find your detail, like here's that little gray splotch on the wall. Snap to, oh, I have isolate on. There we go. So take your locator, snap the pivot to the camera. And you can do that same trick, like go ahead a few frames or sideways. And there's my little tiny locator. I don't know if you could see it. I'm gonna drag it across. It's right there. And see here, I just scaled it until it lined up again with that splotch on another frame. And it sticks there. So if I stabilize onto it, oh, that's not the pivot. Now stabilize. You could see that yeah, my solve isn't perfect, but you could see we've captured that point. And now you can take your locator, snap to it, get your data. And I probably shouldn't do this. But let's constrain this one last point and call the stream done. It's done. King done. Oh, that was a bad joke. I'm sorry. That was a real bad joke. Okay, so copying that locator over here. Like it's Bond, James Bond. But then, you know, Calvin Kingdom. It's done. King done. Oh, my brain's like kind of half working. It's kind of why I'm spewing such garbage. At least I got a laugh out of it. Bro, I have to rewatch this stream 100,000 times. Okay, so now that I have this point here, let's see what it does. I don't expect it to be good because again, that's not a very accurate locator, but Shift G. Yeah, it didn't affect much. It's kind of far away. So, at this point, this is just you guys tracking yourselves a bunch of extra points in your scene. Once you've constrained a few points and things are kind of working, you're in a pretty safe spot just to go and splat down points everywhere else, make sure they stick. And this shot's so easy that I could just spam them around, let them go in like 1 or 2 keys. The tracking king has done it. It only took years. Oh, a little speck here. So this looks like some rolling shutter stuff going on, but might not be. Let's hit solve. So now that I have my points. Yeah, so I have some either rolling shutter going on or my survey points aren't the most accurate because we rushed through it. But the more points you add, the more better your solve on your survey is. You're going to be very happy with it, and it'll work way better. If you look for exact little marks like this, get your points really exact and then constrain it. Again, it's survey data. Your survey data could be anything. You could measure a block and then measure to the side and measure a square, and then you could constrain your trackers into those squares. Survey data is just you measuring any way you want. It could be a photo scan, a LiDAR. You can go out there with a ruler and measure up a tile floor and then snap a grid to it. Yeah, survey data is basically anything. This is hard to see. Let's make it red. Nope. Where's my colors? Oh, I'm not under 3D. Actually, let's make it blue. I kind of don't like blue now. So the occlusion, if I go F3, there's my occlusion. I could right click. I also want to turn off lit wireframe. There we go. Get rid of this pinning, get rid of toolbars. Yeah, that's it. That's kind of it. The photo scan version of this, I promise, will be extremely fast compared to this process. But this is using survey images. This is a way to do it. I did it kind of a janky way. But I do very often believe that you should solve your images, go into another software, scale it, model it, center it perfectly, make it the final layout that you're going to use for all your shots. Try not to do it in Synthesize. Just don't do it in Synthesize or 3DE or PF Track. Make your set perfect and your locators, so long as they're good, and then from there you can find your new points with that locator trick. You can constrain to the existing trackers. But again, for the photo scan, I'll do a photo scan stream soon, and that's going to be way easier than this, and probably no mess ups at all too. So yeah, that would be that. Okay, so I guess if there's any lingering questions, now's your chance, because I want to go die. I want to go sleep. Sleepies. Not die. And not forever sleepies. Walnut, I think that's all I got for Kingdom-based puns. I missed that. Walnut, thanks for the stream. Can't wait for the photogrammetry stream. Dan, thanks again. Thank you very much. Nice to see at least 5 people stuck around. The views fluctuated around. There was quite a few people at some parts, and then it kept shifting around. Low, high, low, high. But it's nice to see we ended on 5 at least. All right. Yeah, if there's no questions left, then I'm gonna. Oh God. It was that easy to splash green juice out of the bottle? Just kind of splash juice out everywhere. Walnut, I missed most of it. I'll have to rewatch. Good luck rewatching this mess. Okay. Oh, that tastes really bad warm. Alright, cool. I'm gonna go away. Alright, thank you for watching. Have a good day, night. You can take your pick. See you. I can't find my button. Oh, here it is. See ya.